Hello, welcome to Pilates Matwork. And today we are going to start standing and then we're going to come down to the floor and get deep into the core. So, prop wise, you don't officially need anything, but if you're someone that likes lumbar support to help the pelvis be stable when we're doing some abdominal work on the back or supine, feel free to bring that in. If you need that support to help you with roll ups and roll downs, feel free to bring in a folded hand towel or something to go across the lumbar. You can also bring in a folded blanket or a little pillow if you need knee cushion for some of those exercises. And then, as always practice with your water. You never know when you might need it. So from here, I'm going to come into a nice standing posture. So I want my hips and your toes to track in this alignment. So hips is where your hip bones are, not about how wide you think you are. Your bones are, and then knees and toes hopefully track in that alignment. And if they're not perfect, no worries. Just do the best you can do. And then once I'm here, I want to make sure my knees are a little soft. So for example, I'm 4'10.5". I'm very proud of that half. And I spent a lot of time in my life trying to make myself taller with taller people. So I got in this habit of locking my knees to try to make myself look taller, but that's just my pelvis and then anterior tilt. I want it to be more neutral. So if I soften my knees a little bit, then that actually feels a lot better on my back and my posture is better. So find what you need here. And then could you maybe lift the toes, pressing into big toe and pinky toe mount and both sides of the heel. Maybe a lifting of the arches will happen there, and then you can lower the toes. Can you maintain that? Ears, shoulders, hips, ankles, and knees, all in that alignment here. Zip up from the pubic bone behind the navel. So you want that center line engaged. And let's keep the hands maybe a little bit more around the rib cage. We'll go into a little bit of breath here. As you inhale, try to expand that rib cage. And then as you exhale, forcing that air out, engaging that belly a little bit more. Let's take that again. Big inhale. Exhale. One more time. And exhale. Good. I'm going to encourage you to inhale and exhale like that as we move today through this practice. I can't do that big exhale and talk at the same time. Just kind of be mindful of that. Let's go into some nice side bends, taking the arms up. Get a nice side bend towards the left. Now I'm not shifting my hips out. See if you can keep them even and just reach. If you keep a nice long top arm here versus bending that elbow, you'll get a deeper connection down that side body. Also notice your posture even here. Do you collapse forward or can you keep that nice and open, shoulders and hips? And we'll move through center using those obliques or side abs, and we'll take that to the other side. Again, bring in that awareness. So is one side tighter or easier for you? And then we'll bring that back in here. From here, let's just take some gentle knee bends. Big inhale, exhale. We're going to bend the knees. So it's almost like a squat. You want to press through the heels and the legs as you come up. And you don't want to take the hips lower than the knees here. And we'll take that back down and press through, just getting used to pressing through those legs and those feet. Good, and reach. Good, so from here, when you're ready, hands can be at the waist. And I'm just gonna lift the heels and lower the heels. So as you move here, notice if you're doing a lot of wobble. And if you are, there's a couple things, or maybe 3 things you can do. You can always hold on to your wall or a piece of furniture. Make sure you're pressing evenly into both big toe and pinky toe mounds. Or maybe don't lift the heels as high. Good. And then from here, excuse me, good. I'm bending my right knee. Good. And I'm pressing into the big toe and pinky toe mount. I'm going to press up into that foot as I switch. And then press up and in as I switch. So I'm getting that lift here as a switch, other than just doing this. Okay, you want to be more active. You want to get that lift with it. A little bit more ankle strengthening when you get that lift with it. Good. one more time. Good. And then from here, good. We'll go into a little gentle rotation. Let the hips and knees move with you. Let the arms just do what they do. And notice if you look in the direction that you're rotating, do you rotate a little bit more? And then from here, good. Let's go into a march and a balance. So again, you can always come to a wall or a piece of furniture. But from here, good. I'm going to march. Right foot comes down, pick up the left foot. The higher you take it, the harder you'll make your balance. So if you're a little wobbly with the foot is lower, taking the leg up higher will not make you more stable. So be mindful. Arms can be anywhere you want. And we'll take that down. March, 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 march. Left foot down, right foot lifts. Good. Find the balance where you need it. Nice and tall. Stay with the breath. When we hold our breath in a balance challenge, we'll fall out of our balance. So you still want to stay with that breath, and we'll take that down. Good. And then we'll march to the end of our mat. So we're going to do a standing roll down here. We'll do that a couple times, and then we're going to take that out into some Pilates push-ups. Good. So if you're more experienced and don't have a low back issue, feel free to take the feet together, legs together, or in a V position here. Okay, that's going to be the hardest way. And if you are newer and do have a back issue, follow me with feet hip width apart. So from here, I'm zipping up to that center line. Good. I'm going to peel off from here like an imaginary wall. So starting from the head, I'm going to nod the chin. Once that chin comes down, now start scooping in that belly. Arms are going to do what they do. Try to avoid shifting the hips back. It's better to bend the knees. Good. You may or may not touch the floor. Go to where you can go. And then rooting into the feet, pressing through the legs, starting from that tailbone, coming all the way up, stacking bone by bone. Shoulders, chin, head last to come up. Let's do that one more time. Nodding that chin. Let's start to scoop in that belly. Let the knees bend as needed. Yes, this is a little bit of a balance challenge here. Good. Go to where you can go. And then pressing into the legs. Keeping that C curve round as I come all the way up. Shoulders, chin, and head are last to come up. Let's take this into Pilates push-up. I'm going to take my arms by my ears. My arms are going to stay by my ears. So now you're envisioning diving over a beach ball. So it's a scoop, but it's not bone by bone. So from here, good. Arms are going to stay by the ears. I'm scooping over that beach ball. Knees are free to bend. And once I come down, good. I'm going to walk that out. And I'm going to find a plank. Knees can be lifted or grounded. Good. You find yours. Turn those elbows towards your pointer and middle finger. Good. Halfway down and push up. Let's get one more. Halfway down and push up. Bent knees, that's going to be easier. Or a hinge from the hip. Walk the hands back towards the feet. Stop the hips over the ankle. Arms by the ears again. Get into those legs. Stacking and reaching. And while we're up here, let's just open into a little bit of a back bend. It just feels nice. Good. And we're going to do that again. Big inhale, exhale. We're diving over the beach ball. Arms by the ears. Bend the knees as much as needed. Once you come down, walk that out. Find your plank, knees lifted or grounded. I'm going to do grounded this time. Good. Turn the elbows forward. Halfway down and push. Halfway down and push. Good. From here, when you're ready, find your way back the way you need to get there. Stop the hips over the ankles, arms by the ears. That bone by bone. Coming up, and we'll open. We'll do one more, and we'll stay down after we do the push-ups. Big inhale, exhale, and we'll wrap. Okay. Once you come down, walk that out. Good. Knees lifted or grounded. Good. Find your plank first. Elbows turn forward. Halfway down and push. Halfway down and push. Knees drop. Let's take a child's pose. And we're going to come to all fours from here. So you could do these on forearms. Just be mindful that if you're not using yoga blocks or something, that might be a little bit too low. But I'm going to spread my fingers nice and wide, rooting through the knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. I'm pressing that floor away. The tops of the feet are down. My hips are over my knees. Belly button is in. Cat cow. Inhale, cow. There's your extension. Exhale, cat. Looking towards the thighs. Tucking the tail. There's your flexion. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. You really draw up and in. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Good. From here, when you're ready, we're going to take this into some knee lifts. So we're going to continue to warm up the core. So I'm going to tuck my toes here, and this can also be done on forearms as well. So we're going to lift the knee into a little bit of a hover. So the lower the hover, the closer your lift is to the floor, the harder you will make it. The higher you lift the knees, the easier you will make it. So make sure that you're lifting at the appropriate height for your body's needs and level. So from here, zip up and in. Good. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, hover. And lower. Exhale, hover. And lower. Exhale, hover. And lower. 3 more if you can. Exhale, hover. And lower. Exhale, hover. And lower. One more time. Exhale, hover. And lower. Child's pose. Nice to get out of there. And then once you're ready, hands can come underneath the shoulders, and we'll press ourselves up. We're going to come onto our back. So however you want to get there, then I'm going to recommend that that's the way that you should get there. I'm going to take a drink of water before I come down. Good. So from here, once you're down, maybe readjust some clothing if you need to do that. Rolling the shoulders back if you need to do that. Let's get a little bit of a hip opener here, something a little bit more gentle. We'll also get into the low back a little bit here as well. So taking the feet as wide as your mat, zipping up through that center line. So another visual, if you're having trouble with that center line engagement, imagine yourself zipping up a tight pair of jeans that you just took from the dryer. And you know how you have to kind of zip that up and in a little bit to do that. So that's the kind of engagement that we're looking for here, but it shouldn't be so tight, so pronounced that you can't breathe or move with ease. Okay? So from here, I'm zipped up to that center line. So when I take my knees over to my left, they're not going to come all the way over because that center line will stop. And then it should feel like an abdominal exercise as I bring my knees back in. This is deep transverse abdominis work. Okay, and we'll go to the other side. This is also a psoas opener. Okay, and coming back in. We'll do that one more time to each side, to the left. And center and to the right. And this is a nice one that you can do in the bed in the morning before you get out. And coming back up. Good. We'll bring everything back in the center. Let's take some pelvic tilting here. So I'm zipped up to that center line. I'm hoping I'm in a neutral spine. So I want my tailbone to be heavy and connected, my lower rib cage to be heavy and connected, and my pubic bone and hip bones are relatively flat, or at least as flat as I can get them on that same plane. So I'm going to zip up again. So as I take my pubic bone towards my face, maybe I'm closing any space that may be under here. Kind of think about this as like a pelvic tuck, if you will. And then, so that's the posterior tilt. And then as I rock my pelvis forward, maybe creating more space in the low part of the back, maybe more of an arch. That's your anterior tilt. And then I'm just going to rock through that forward and back. Work your body's range of motion. So if a deep flexion of the spine is not for you, then don't do that part. If a extension is not good for you, then don't do that part. Good. Common sense practice. Good. And then from here, once we're ready, let's take this into some clocks. Now I'm going to cue clocks a little bit directionally versus the numbers. So you've got your belly button, you've got your pubic bone, and your right and left side. Okay, so you want this to be nice and tight and controlled. You should feel this very deep between the navel and the pubic bone. So right kind of in that center part there. And this isn't a dance like this. So if you've got a big range of movement here, you're not engaged enough. So come back to that center line. It should be a very subtle but deep movement. So let's try that. So I'm zipped up and in. Good. I'm going to take my pubic bone to my belly button. Good. And then take it forward. And then to the belly button. And take it forward. So this is what we just did with that curl. Good. And to my belly button. So here we go. We're going to take it to the left, to the pubic bone, to the right, to the belly button, left, pubic bone, right, belly button, left, pubic bone, right, belly button, left, pubic bone, right, belly button, pause. We're going to reverse that now to the right, pubic bone, left, belly button, right, pubic bone, left, belly button, right, pubic bone, left, belly button. One more, these are tough. Right, pubic bone, left, belly button. Good, just rock forward and back, let the chin rock with you, reminding you how everything is connected. And then when you're ready, one knee at a time, just bring them into the chest and rock side to side. Give that low back a little bit of a stretch. And we're going to continue to work the core here with some toe taps, So the way I teach toe taps is a little bit deceiving. Yes, I use the word toe taps, but we're not actually touching the toe. I don't like that because it encourages people to cheat. However, if you come to a toe hover, then you get a little bit deeper into the core. So that's actually what we're going to be doing, is coming into the hover. So you want your knees to be at tabletop. So you want this right 90-degree angle here at the knee, and you want this 90-degree angle here at the hip. We're only going to move from the hip, okay? So from here, we'll start on the left hip. From that hip, good. I'm going to come down to that hover. Exhale, bring that back up to tabletop. Go to right side from the hip. Inhale, lower to the hover. Exhale, bring it up into tabletop. Left side. Inhale, hover. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale, hover. Exhale, tabletop. Really draw up and in. One more time each side. Inhale, left side hover. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale, hover. Exhale, tabletop. Short break, but not too long. We'll come back into tabletop. So if what we just did was challenging enough for you, you're going to go and do that again. Those of you that want more, zip the legs together. We're going to double time it. So both legs are going to come to the hover. So from the hip, inhale on the hover. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale, hover. Exhale, tabletop. Now watch that pelvis. We don't want the back to arch. Also notice your hip creases here. So if you're already feeling something special happen there, take a break. You've lost your core connection. That's a sign that the core is not yet strong enough to support a lot of repetitions, and you're compensating there. Okay. And then we'll take that back up. That's the last one. Grab behind the knees. Rock side to side. Let's go into some bridges. So feet are going to come down. Make sure the heels are not too close or too far away. Hips, knees, and toes are tracking. I'm going to roll my shoulders under a little bit here. When you press into the feet, also press into your hands, your arms, and your shoulders. Head will stay centered. Don't turn it right or left. Let's do this through articulation since we're warmed up. I'm going to rock that pelvis back through that lumbar. Rolling up through that rib cage. Lifting up through the rib cage as I come up through the mid back. So when you lift up through the chest, you're going to get a deeper and better bridge. And then rolling it down from the mid back, through the rib cage, through the lumbar, through the sacrum, and back to safe neutral. Again, rocking back through the sacrum, through the lumbar, through the rib cage, up to the mid-back, lift up through that chest, press into the arms and shoulders, and lowering from the mid-back, through the rib cage, through the lumbar, to the sacrum, and back to tailbone. Let's do that one more time. Rocking back through the sacrum, through the lumbar, through the rib cage, lifting up through that chest, up to the mid-back, and then we'll lower from the mid-back, through the rib cage, through the lumbar, to the sacrum, and back to safe neutral, bringing the knees in and rock side to side. Okay. We're going to do some chest lifts here. We're going to do a little bit of a different variation with these. So for this first couple, feet are going to be on the floor. Arms are right up over the shoulders, zipping up nice and tight. Big inhale, exhale, lift the shoulders, the chest, nod the chin, look towards the thighs, reach arms long and strong. Inhale, arms lift up, exhale, roll that back down. Inhale, exhale, nodding that chin, rolling that up. Good, reaching long and strong. Arms lift up and lower down. If you still need that level, stay there. Otherwise, take the knees into the chest. Same thing. Inhale, exhale. Reaching long and strong. Arms lift up and lower down. Good. Now this next one, we're going to pause it up here. We're going to take it right into the hundreds. Inhale, exhale, curve it up. Arms are long and strong. You can take your legs long here if you'd like to practice that way, or stay in tabletop. I'm going to stay in tabletop today. You go where you need to go. Start pumping those arms long and strong. And we inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the chest higher. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, reach deeper. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, hold. Lift the chest higher, reach deeper through the arms. And take that down. Woo. Rock, 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 side to side. Let's take this into a twist. Your knees in tabletop, arms out to the side. Let those knees come all the way over to the left, keeping right shoulder grounded as you look to the right. Breathe and expand through that rib cage. Maybe a big sigh of relief of that exhale that the hundreds are over. Nobody really likes doing hundreds, but everybody likes the result. Okay. And then from here, head will come back to center. One leg at a time, or using your abdominals to bring both knees back. Good. Reset, and we'll take that to the other side. Knees coming to the right. Good. Looking to the left. Breathing and expanding. And when you're ready, head back to center, one leg at a time, or using your abdominals to bring them back in. Okay, so we're going to take this into a single leg stretch. Single leg stretch, knees in tabletop, arms up. As I lift up, good, I'm going to take my left knee in, my right leg's going to come long and strong. As I'm pulling, I'm also reaching. Okay, so you want to get that stretch in there. Hips stay even, and here we go. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bring that down. We're going to take this into crisscross here. So even though now we're rotating, the legs will be the same. Hips still stay on the floor. Rotation comes from the waist. Okay, so from here, hands are going to come behind the head. We want the lead with the shoulders, so elbows are going to be out wide. This is not what we're doing here. Okay, so we want to be nice and wide. The reason for that is because it facilitates more engagement of the obliques, your side abs, that waistline. Okay, so here we go. Inhale, exhale. As I come up and go to the left, left knee in, right leg long, and then I'm going to switch. and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And down. Good. So kind of collect everything here. So from here, we're going to go to a crunch and reverse crunch combo. And we're going to do this with ladder. So if you think you're going to miss something by not doing the rest of the series of 5, I promise you, you will not. So from here, I'm going to give you different levels. You can keep your feet on the floor, okay, for at least the crunch part. You can do tabletop knees. When we do the reverse crunch, it'll be like that. The most challenging part will be legs up. So same thing here. You don't want to swing your legs around. You want to just lift up. So it's a lower crunch. Hands can come behind the head here for the crunch part, the forward crunch. So zipping up nice and tall. Here we are. We're going to go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now reverse crunch for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, something else I should have said but forgot to. Hands behind the head for the reverse crunch will get a little bit more upper body into it. If you need your arms at your side, to help you with that, then do it that way as well. So hands behind the head. Here's the forward crunch. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse crunch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crunch forward, upper body. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we go. Reverse crunch. 4, 3, 2, and 1. 3 times crunches. Here goes 3, 2, 1. I'm feeling these. I hope you are too. Feel free to modify at any time, making it a little bit less intense. There's 3, 2, 1. Crunch 2 times. 1, 2, reverse crunch. 1, 2, crunch 1, reverse crunch 1. Woo! Bend those knees, take that back in, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let's get a hamstring stretch here. So I'm going to take my right foot down. That knee can be bent or that leg can be extended long. Take your hands behind that left leg. Go up as high as you can go. Upper body is going to stay grounded. Maybe a little point and flex of that foot as well, or a rolling of the ankles. And then once you're ready, we're going to take circles on this side. So this leg's going to come up here. Remember, both hips, both shoulders, stay on the floor during the circles. You choose your size as a circle here. So the smaller the circle, the easier it is to control. You're still getting that core work here. The larger the circle, the more core control you must have. So you find yours. And when you're ready, good, we will reverse directions. Good. And then when you're ready, good, we'll take that foot down, long leg or bend in the knee. Right leg comes up, upper body stays down. Slide those hands up as high as they can go. Point and flex that foot. And maybe roll that ankle around. No snap, crackle, pop is okay, as long as there's no pain associated with that snap, crackle, pop sound. And then once you're ready, good, you can release. Good, set yourself up for your circles. Try to do about the same size circle as you did on the other side, so you train as even as possible. So we're still zipped up to that center line of engagement. Also be mindful too, if you feel a connective tissue ever popping around or whatever in that hip crease, shorten your range of motion because we don't want that. Good. And then when you're ready, good. We'll bring in both knees and a little rock side to side. We're going to come into rolling like a ball, rolling like a ball. So if that's not for you, roll over to your side and come up to a seat. Those of you that are okay with that, I'm going to recommend holding the shins. You can hold behind the thighs, but don't swing your legs around to try to roll if that's what you're doing. So no cheating. Good. Use your breath and your abs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, coming all the way up. Good. From here, we're going to take our legs wide. I'm just going to leave my hair clip out because we're going to be back to supine and work here before too long. So take your legs out wide, and we're just going to get a nice adductor stretch here. So toes, knees, and hips face the ceiling. Arms come up, nice long back, lean forward. When you can come no more with that long back, take those hands down. Breathe and expand through that rib cage. Notice what you feel and where you feel it, hopefully in the inner thigh, but you might also feel it in the back of the hamstring here as well, maybe even into the hip. And then we'll take this back up. Good. So we're going to rotate and take a twist here. So arms up. We're going to rotate to the left, fold to the left. Now, couple things. You want that opposite hip to stay down. If this is too intense with both legs out wide, modify that by taking your right foot in and then fold. So same thing, just less intensity. So find what it is that you need for your body. You may or may not touch your foot here. And when you're ready, we'll take this back up. Also be mindful, if you're in the habit pattern of doing a bounce, we don't want to bounce when we're stretching. So just stay there and stretch. Big inhale, arms up, exhale, rotate to the right, fold to the right. Good. I'm already feeling my abs from that crunch, reverse crunch combo for sure. I hope you are too. Good. And then from here, good, we'll come back up. So from here, I'm just going to turn this way so you can better see. We're going to come into spine stretch forward, spine stretch forward. So consider this like a seated version of the standing version of the roll down that we did earlier. So feet don't need to be as wide as we just were, kind of bring them in about halfway. Arms come forward. Again, we're peeling off an imaginary wall. We're going to tuck that chin, and we're going to get that scoop. Good. And then we're going to go forward to our limit. Ears are by the bicep. And then from that tailbone, then as we come back in, we're going to stack bone by bone back into that nice tall spine. Let's do that again. Nodding the chin, scoop in, and reach. And from that tailbone, we're going to stack bone by bone. And we're going to do that one more time, nodding the chin. Good. Rolling that forward. Keep that belly button in. And then we're going to stack bone by bone, coming back to that imaginary wall. Good. Relax the shoulders here. We're going to take this into open leg rocker. Open leg rocker. So if rolling, is not a good for you, you're just going to hold it in a balance. So I'll demonstrate that. You're going to balance on your sits bones. And you can grab, if you've got shorter arms, maybe you're a shorter person like me, you're probably going to be more comfortable grabbing your shins. Taller people with longer arms, you can totally grab the feet. So be mindful as to what's appropriate for your body. And this might be it right here. You're just doing a little modified balance. And you can play with one leg at a time, or you can take both legs out. Maybe this is where you play with your balance, or open leg rocker. Good. You have to roll and come up. And 2, 3, 4. Woo. I'm fighting for it. Good. And we'll go back 5 and 6. And fight for that balance. Find that balance. Find that balance. And coming out of there. Good. We're going to go right into the side now. Side series. So I'm going to turn. I'm going to start on my right side just so that I can face you here as that works best. Different things for different people. Again, you can be up on the elbow. You can be here on the forearm. You can be here on the elbow or here. So always do what's best for your shoulder because that's usually going to dictate what you need. Good. And I want to be on the hip bone here. So I don't want my hips, turned at an angle. I want them to be straight forward. Okay. You can always bend that bottom leg for support. Both legs straight out. It's going to be a little bit more challenging, more balanced. So find yours. Good. So just let that foot be at ease. And it may or may not point at ease. Just be at ease. Zip up. Good. And we're going to lift. And we're going to take this. 6, 5. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now, flex that foot. Take the foot towards the face. And we're going to bend. 1. Derive through that heel and glute. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. Now press it out. Here. Lower, lift, bend, stretch. Lower, lift, bend, stretch. Lower, lift, bend, stretch. Lower, lift, bend, stretch. 2 more. Lower, lift, bend, stretch. Lower, lift, bend, stretch. Take a bend, take your shin, take your ankle, press the hips forward as you take the knee and foot back. Get that nice quad stretch in there. Whew, I felt that one. I hope you did too. And then from here, when you're ready, we're going to come back onto our back. So normally, we do roll-ups and roll-downs earlier in a class, but we're going to see where we are when we do it a little bit later in class when we're not quite as fresh. So I'm going to go ahead and get my lumbar support here. And I'm just going to lift my hips up as I place it underneath there. And again, lumbar support's optional. Not everybody needs it, but especially those of us that have a little bit of a lordotic curve might need that support. So different ways you can do these roll-ups. You can keep the knees bent and you can roll up and roll down that way. You can keep your legs long and roll up and roll down that way as well. So we're going to zip up here, arms over the shoulders. Big inhale, exhale, nod the chin. Reach and look towards the feet. Try to keep your legs on the floor. You can stop at this nice pulse point, or you can continue to roll forward. Good. And then I'm going to keep that scoop as I roll right back down. Good. And then I'm going to reach just because it feels good to get a little bit of a long stretch here. Inhale, exhale. Good. Also making sure you're trying as best as you can to roll up through center. Sometimes the stronger side wants to take over. If I don't have my lumbar support, this is a lot harder than it needs to be for me, and it'll come up on my left side and my legs will come up. So be mindful of your needs and adapt your practice to the current needs of your body. Inhale, exhale. Ooh, getting tired now. Good. Get up and coming forward. Good. And then I'll roll that down. I think my support slipped a little bit, so I'll fix that for the last one. Good. A little bit back here. Good. And then we'll do one more. Inhale, exhale. The placement is everything. Good, and coming forward. Good. From here, you've got an option for your transition. You can take one more roll down and roll to the other side, or you can just go to the other side, which is what I'm going to do to change my side, but you don't necessarily have to change yours. So we're going to side lie now on the left side, the left side. So whatever you did on the other side with your arm, try to do that the same on this side so you train as even as possible. Good. So if you've got a weaker side, your stronger side needs to do the same thing as the weaker. Otherwise, you'll always have a weaker side and you'll always have a stronger side. So training evenly is important. Good. So set yourself up the same way you need to. Just let that top foot relax. And here we go. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Hold it up there. Flex the foot. Here we go with the bend. Bend. Stretch 1. Drive through that hip and heel. 2, 3. Really feel it in the hip creases. 4, 5, and 6. Good. Now here we go. We're going to lower, lift, bend, stretch. Lower, lift, bend, stretch. Lower, lift, bend, stretch. Lower, lift, bend, stretch. 2 more. Lower, lift, bend, stretch. Last one. Lower, lift, bend, and stretch. Take that bend, grab your shin, your ankle, whatever it is. Take the hips forward, foot and knee back, get that quad stretch. Whew. And then once you're ready, good. We're going to come onto our bellies. Good. So as you come onto your belly here, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Legs are going to be hip width apart. Start your hands under the shoulders and walk them forward and a little bit to the side, letting the elbows and the forearms come to the floor. But rolling the shoulders back. We're going to swan here. We're going to do swan 4 times. So from here, good. Zipping up, good. Inhale. Stop your swan at the appropriate level for your body, which might not look like mine. No hanging in the shoulder, no crunching in the back. And we'll lower that back down. Good. Inhale. Sorry, you should inhale on the lift and exhale on the lower. I shouldn't actually even say that. So for most people, it's going to feel better if you inhale on the lift and exhale on the lower. But some people, that's not true. For some people, it's better to exhale on the lift and inhale on the lower. So never be afraid to play with the breath. Things are often taught end all be all, but bodies are different, people are different. And at the end of the day, the most important thing is to breathe. So if the suggested breathing pattern is not for you, then that makes no sense to stay with that breathing pattern. And we'll take that back down. Good. We're going to go into swimming. Arms are going to come forward. Palms can face down or each other. You choose. Good. Zip up that front body. Good. Lift up the upper and the lower. Good. Now try not to rock back and forth. It's going to be opposite arm, opposite leg. Good. Now I'm going to keep a slower pace, but you can certainly speed this up as long as the hips are not wildly rocking to the side. So you want to find that happy medium of that core control. So I'm squeezing the hips in the back of the shoulder as I lift. Good. And then we'll take that down. Hands under the shoulders, press back, child's pose. Now we're going to continue to get into the rear end here. So I'm going to come forward. These can also be done on the forearm if you need to do that. But from all fours, we're going to do some lifts and some circles. Yes. Yes. I got a hair. Apologies about that. Okay. So zipping up nice and tight. I'm gonna take my right leg back, and I'm just gonna start by taking my big toe and pinky toe mound down and press back through that heel. Maybe letting the right hip drop slightly, just getting a nice stretch on that back of the leg. And then from here, good. We will take that leg back. So it can be a little bit of a lift. It can be hip height. We just don't want to dip here. So we want to be nice and lifted. Good. Maybe a point of the toe, but not too extreme. From the glute, we're going to lift. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now reach. Maybe left arm comes forward now. Find that balance. And then take that down, child's pose. Maybe sitting on that side. Oh, yes. Sit down on that left side, that right side. And the sides that you just worked. That feels so good. And when we're ready, we're going to take that to the other side. So left leg's going to come back, press evenly into big toe and pinky toe mound, press back through that heel. Maybe dropping that left hip ever so slightly, finding that beautiful stretch. And then when you're ready, good, we'll come forward, lift that's appropriate for you. Good. And then from that glute, we're going to go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Right arm's going to come forward. Find your balance. Taking that down, child's pose. Hardest part is over. Let's come to a seat. Good. So we're going to mermaid here. And a couple of different ways you can sit for that. You can sit just like this with the feet over to one side. You can be in a more Z position. So always do what's best for your hips. And you can always sit up on a blanket or pillow here if you need to be a little bit more lifted. So big inhale and reach. Good. So my feet are to my right side. So I'm going to side bend to my left side. And you can take this all the way down if that would feel good. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Maybe even getting a rotation stretch. Just make sure you're rotating from the length. Opening back up to the side, moving through center. We'll counter stretch over towards the feet. Again, nice long top arm. And when you're ready, good. We're going to take that to the other side. So feet are just going to switch around. Organize your legs in the way that they need to be for you right now. Big inhale and reach. Exhale. Good. Opposite side. Reaching nice and long, going to where you can go. If it's okay, from that length, maybe take a nice final twist. Opening to the side, moving through center, counter stretch towards the feet. Nice long top arm. And coming back to center. Way to go. You made it through this Pilates Matwork class. I hope that your abs are on fire. Mine are. And hope to see you again really soon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much.